Let's be honest. We've all had that cold sweat moment, that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach when you realize you've made a mistake. Maybe you hit reply all on an email you really shouldn't have, or left your wallet at a restaurant. It's a universal human feeling. Now imagine having that moment not in private, but in front of millions of people on national television. This is the story of one of the most beloved experts on PBS's hit show Antiques Roadshow, a man who knows his stuff inside and out. And it's the story of the one appraisal that got away, a mistake so big he still shakes his head about it today. It's a story about history, vulnerability, and a one-of-a-kind painting of Snow White that turned out to be more important than anyone could have dreamed. The scene, a treasure in Delaware. Picture it. Winterthur, Delaware, 2019. The Antiques Roadshow is in town, and the energy is electric. People have come from all over, hauling dusty treasures from their attics and basements, all hoping for that one, life-changing moment when an expert looks at their old thing and says, "You won't believe what this is worth." A woman steps up to the table of Noel Barrett. Noel is a legend, the guy you go to for toys and collectibles. He has a playful, joyful energy, and he's seen it all. The guest unwraps her item, and it's a stunner. It's a watercolor painting of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, signed by an artist named Gustav Tengren and dated 1937, before the iconic Disney film even hit theaters. On the back, a simple sticker, "Coming soon." The guest explains the painting has been in her family for as long as she can remember. Her great-grandfather, an advertiser in New York, got it from a client decades ago. It was a cherished piece of family history, a sweet reminder of her great-grandfather. She always loved it, but she had no real idea of its value. Noel Barrett, however, immediately knew this was something special. The appraisal. A Swedish genius and a conservative estimate. Noel's eyes lit up. This wasn't just any fan art. This was an original by Gustav Tengren. He explained to the guest, Tengren was born in Sweden, where he specialized in the Swedish zeitgeist of gnomes and elves, so that was one of his passions. Think about that. In the mid-1930s, Walt Disney was taking the biggest gamble in film history, Snow White, the world's first full-length animated feature. When it came time to design the Seven Dwarfs, who better to hire than the world's foremost expert on gnomes and elves? This would be a perfect person to inspire the art, Barrett explained on camera. He did some of the very original art that inspired the artwork for the movie. He pointed out the details. You'll notice that it's the Seven Dwarfs for sure. There's Dopey, the whole gang. But when they went into animation, they obviously smoothed them out, which was much easier to paint. This painting wasn't a final animation cell, it was inspiration. It was a piece of the creative DNA that would eventually become one of the most successful films of all time. After Snow White and Pinocchio, Tengren went on to illustrate the beloved Little Golden Books, defining the look of childhood for millions. The "Coming Soon" sticker on the back was the final clue. This was likely used for posters and advertising before the movie's debut. This was it, the big moment. "It is a wonderful thing," Barrett told the guest. "It's one of a kind. Great artist, great story." A conservative auction estimate would be in the $20,000 to $25,000 range. The owner's reaction was pure, unadulterated shock. "What? For real? $20,000 to $25,000? It's a treasure," Barrett confirmed. The woman was overjoyed, tears welling up. "Wow, I always loved it, but I had no idea. It was something that reminds me of my great-grandfather." It was a perfect Antiques Roadshow moment. A 10 out of 10 appraisal. The crowd was thrilled, the owner was crying, and the expert was a hero, except for one small problem. Noel Barrett was wrong. The confession, "I really screwed that up." The truth came out years later on the show's podcast, Antiques Roadshow Detours. Host Adam Monahan set the stage, reminding listeners that Noel brings a sense of playfulness and joy to every appraisal, and really does know his stuff. And that's why, Monahan said, it's so painful to him to have once made a mistake. Even the show's executive producer, Marcia Bemko, chimed in, admitting, "I've repressed what came next because I don't like mistakes happening in front of millions of people." The podcast pulled back the curtain. The painting had come to Noel. the toy expert and not the painting experts, because of his Disney experience. But this piece was different. It was so singular, so unique, that there was nothing to compare it to. So this was a quandary. Barrett confessed on the podcast. He'd done his research the day of the appraisal,